Hi, it's Dia. It just started to snow and we're supposed to get 8 inches. I apologize ahead of time for the sneezing and the coughing because I have a cold, but I'm going to be sitting here and I'm going to be using watercolor paints that I got on Amazon for like $5 and I'm going to create my new header for my website. So here's what I have so far. And I don't even know. It's the first go round and it's kind of at the I don't know what to think about its stage. So here we go. Okay, here's the Prang watercolors that I got from Amazon, and I was wrong. They're not five, they're $10. And here's the inside of the set. You can use the top of the set as a little bit of a palette. And I wanted to use these specifically because they don't cost a lot of money, and everybody thinks that art supplies have to be so much money for them to be good. And I wanted to use this specifically because I want this to come out great. Of course, because it's going to be on my website, but I wanted it to come out great too because I just wanted to show that you don't have to have super expensive products to get good results. Now down here in the corner, I'm just using basic turquoise, and then I added a little bit of green over here. I'm sorry, I kind of went over the edge. I didn't realize I wasn't properly filming. And I just wanted to get those two colors to get some dimension to those leaves. So there's about 5 or 6 greens in there, and there's also a really decent white. And that's all I did. I used what was on my brush and I watered it down a little bit and I added some white and I made a nice, really soft teal color. And I realize I'm off camera a little bit more because I have to do mixing with the water and the colors. I added a little bit of blue to the teal and made even another shade, so it's more of a blue teal this time than an aqua teal like you see on the leaves on the bottom right. Then I rinsed off the brush completely and I went in with one of the green colors. Pretty straight. I mean, there might have been some left over on the brush, but what you see is basically what you get. It's the lightest green in the set. And what did I do here? Did I go? Yeah, I went in with the darker green in this part because at the end I went over with my new favorite thing in the world, the Posca pen, in white to add some dimension. Now I took that brush and I just added the turquoise blue, and I realized that I go much slower with watercolors versus colored pencils because I'm not as used to it, although what a really fun medium. And I think after this, I'm gonna do an image in the Buns Artist Edition in the new paper to see how it works with straight watercolor. Now right about here I thought I would add some dark dimension and then I instantly didn't like it, and so I goofed a little bit and I was like, okay, what do I do here? So I took that little piece, that goof right there, and I just went right down the middle and I figured I'll make a stylized leaf. Even though you can see where the actual divide area is supposed to be, I kind of just went with it. Now I just took what was on my brush and I mixed it with the white, which is relatively opaque for such an inexpensive set, and I really liked the way that looked over the top of the multicolors on the leaves. Or I should say on that leaf specifically. Now I took some purple and I went over that area that I left white in the center. And although it doesn't look like it looks like there's a whole bunch of colors, there is sort of a color theme here. Even the Lenihan part, um, they're warm colors, and then the leaves and the botanicals around the outside are sort of green and purple, which is cool. Meaning the color range is cool. Now those lines came out much darker than I thought they would, and this is the first go round with this header, so I'm not too worried about it. If by some stroke of luck it ends up to be wonderful and I can use it, all the better. But I'm not that worried about it. So I took the purple that was on the brush and I mixed it with some white to dilute it a bit and put it over the top of that blue teal. I really liked the way that one came out. Now these leaves are teeny tiny. And that brush that I'm using came with a really inexpensive set of watercolors, and it's a KMM small round brush, and it says right on the brush for small details. The company that makes it, I looked up KMM, and it's Kid Made Modern, and it came with that little round brush, and then it said there's the other brush, and then it said medium round for medium details. And I'm kind of astounded at how much I use this brush for so many things, especially the small one, because it is a really nice round brush. And I think I got that whole set that I just showed you in that picture for under $10. And I got that set because they're neon colors. So very cool. I'll put all the links for all the products that I'm talking about in the information box under the video. So I'm using the same brush. In fact, I used that same brush for the entire image, except for a couple of places where I used colored pencil to intensify some of the colors. I'm just putting in some details here. Went back to those turquoise image colors and thought I would just add some little details, make it whimsical. I was going to do one in the D, but I felt like the little spider web was enough, so I left it there. I removed some of them, as you can see. So once I kind of decided that I wasn't crazy in love with this, and let me know what you think. And if you have any good ideas of what would make a better logo, or what I could even add or take away from this logo, because I can always put it in to Procreate on the iPad and change it up. So if you have any good ideas, tell me. Anyway, what I was going to say is, once I decided that this was imperfect and I probably wouldn't use it, I started to add more fun, whimsical things, and I think it started to end up looking better, which is kind of a funny situation that happens. So I'm adding some more purples because I really like the way the purples made everything else stand out, even though the background is completely white. Now that's the same purple as I used on those little tiny balls on the left, and I just added some white. Now you're going to see in a few minutes that I pretty much completely mess up that flower. You'll see that in a few minutes. And for the rest of the video, I'm just adding things. Like right here, I had no plan on putting those little leaves, but it felt like it was a little off balance for some reason, so I thought it needed a little bit more of that turquoise color underneath. Why the A specifically? I'm not quite sure. Now right here, I decided to go over the watercolor with a polychromos pencil that I sharpened really sharp, and that color is Scarlet Red. I didn't go all the way to the top with that really intense color because I thought there might be some reflection, and I thought that would look nice, so I left it. And here's where I mess up the tulip. I take some white, or what I thought was white, but it ended up to be a little bit gray because I might have had some color left on the brush, and I thought I would add some detail to that tulip. And then when I did it, it looked really bad. So I took paper towel, removed it really quickly, and I just took a wet brush and sort of smudged it around, and it's good enough. And here's where I make another mistake. I thought I would make another little tiny bunny next to the mushroom, and it was so small I didn't even know if you were ever going to be able to see it, but it was kind of too late, so I filled it in and I figured I would use a really sharp pencil and 2 pair of eyeglasses to make the details. Now I'm using, obviously, an eraser, get rid of those lines, and go over all the dry areas to get an idea of what I thought. And so far I think it's okay, but I'm not quite sure I'm crazy about it yet. I'll probably do a few more just to see how it comes out. Now I'm taking a uni pin fine liner, or maybe it's uni, U-N-I pin fine liner in 0.05 millimeters, and I colored in that itty bitty little bunny's eyes and nose. I didn't want to put too much on him because I figured he would just turn into a smudge. Oop, sorry for the camera shaking. But that's it so far. And like I said, I'm this way, that way. But one thing for sure, I really enjoyed using watercolors, and I haven't been using them a lot lately. So I'm totally inspired to do an image in that new book because the paper's so nice and I want to see what it looks like in one of my coloring books to use actual watercolor to do the whole thing and maybe go over the top of some of it with maybe some colored pencils. But I hope you like this video. Thanks for hanging out with me on this snowy, sneezy Sunday evening. I hope you like this video, and if you did, I hope you give me a thumbs up and maybe share it with somebody that you think might like it too. I hope you find me on Facebook and join my coloring gallery. I would love to see you there. So thanks to everyone who follows me, and like I said, this week I'm going to color in that coloring book with watercolors, and I'm also going to do a bronzeal. I'm going to finish that other image with bronzeal pencils. So once again, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.